Welcome back to Snark and Spark. My name is Emily, and today you're in my kitchen. Why are we in my kitchen? Well, I thought I would bring you with me as I meal prep today. So I've tried to make this video 2 other times now. This is try number 3. Yeah, so here goes nothing. I thought I would try and fill in essentially a day in the life for me, and hopefully provide some context of where I've been the last couple months and why when I've come back to my YouTube channel, less stitchy for now and like completely different content, right? Like I feel like I'm doing something I've never done before. I'm doing reading vlogs. They're a lot longer than anything I think I usually do. I could be wrong. I feel like I've released pretty long videos in the past. Yeah, so where to begin? Like I said, I've tried to do this. This is try number 3. So let's just start at the beginning. Last year, also I think this is gonna be a hot minute. So get a beverage, get coffee, which I have an iced coffee here. Get water, drink break. I do remember doing this. This is from T&L's Java Joint drive-thru. They have a really cute logo. It's a little bean. I'm dripping everywhere. What is this one again? I don't know. It's part of their spring menu, and this is the last week for their spring menu because we're moving into summer. It's like robin's egg nest. I know that it's like butterscotch, espresso, vanilla, something else. I don't know. I've had it before. I really like it from their spring menu. So anyways, what am I doing? So today is Wednesday. It is my day off, and this is what I do on my day off. This day has kind of shifted a little bit because I got up this morning, I went and picked up my grocery order, and now I'm meal prepping. I'm starting my meal prepping a lot later than I usually do, but that's okay because these recipes I don't think they're gonna take that long of a time. So last year, had my yearly physical, and when I went in, I just was not happy at the end of it. I'm gonna do my best to speak louder than I normally feel like I do because I want you to be able to hear me over the sounds of food and prepping. What am I making? Because I know that's gonna be, people are gonna wanna know. This first meal is miso citrus paneer and a cauliflower stir fry. So we're doing this cauliflower first. Cauliflower, it's 4 ingredients. It is cauliflower, spinach, paneer, and yuzu miso glaze. Okay. Got a little vegetable oil. Also, I'm kind of a chaotic chef. So I'm gonna do my best to not be chaotic while I'm doing this. Okay. So I went to my doctor and we're in the physical. I was the heaviest I'd ever been. And I just wasn't feeling good. I had some blood drawn. For the most part, my levels were fine. A couple of my levels were a little high, especially like my thyroid. But I have, really good blood pressure. I have stuff like that, right? But obviously, I also didn't feel well. I wasn't eating well. I was making really bad food decisions. I just wasn't taking care of my body. I was probably drinking more than I should have been drinking. Adult beverages. I don't smoke. I don't do anything like that. But I definitely just wasn't taking care of myself. And I felt it, right? I was heavy. I was the heaviest I'd ever been. I felt weak. I was having a lot of problems with fatigue and not sleeping well. And I just generally felt like I couldn't keep up with Caden. I couldn't keep up with my 10-year-old. And as you know, he's incredibly active. And that was incredibly frustrating for me. And I hated it. I didn't like how it made me feel. So before I go any further though, my channel is obviously a safe space. I try to keep my channel a safe place for anyone. Anyone is welcome here. That being said, this whole video and this conversation I am about to have, I'm going to be discussing topics of weight gain, weight loss, body image, exercise, dieting, food. If any of those are triggers for you, please feel free to stop watching now and go find something else. I have other videos that do not talk about this at all that you're more than welcome to watch. You can watch someone else entirely. Yes, my channel is a safe place, but you have to be responsible for your triggers and for your own mental well-being. If these are going to upset you in any way, you need to take the responsibility to take care of yourself. Okay? My mother is coming through, can you tell? So, I decided to make some changes. I told you I'm kind of chaotic in the kitchen. Okay, so we're gonna saute this. This is gonna be so chaotic and disjointed because I'm going to try and walk you through my meal prep because I have to say the things I'm doing out loud, or part of my ADHD is I will just completely forget, and then this will sit here and burn because I will be completely gone. So, I have a timer set. I will try and turn it off before it beeps because it's loud and annoying. First, we're gonna saute my cauliflower for about 4 minutes over medium-high heat with salt and pepper. Season aggressively. There is nothing wrong with herbs and spices. Use them, love them, enjoy them. Okay? We have these fun salt and pepper grinders that Bryant bought. I don't know, he wanted to be fancy, but they are a lot of fun to use. Anyways, so I decided to make some changes. I'm gonna move this around a little bit. Okay. I made changes starting in January. I'm going to need that. So I don't, previously and in the past, me and exercise don't get along. I have never been able to stick with an exercise plan that works for me. I've never been able to. Like, you know what I'm gonna do? Sorry. I'm gonna throw in a little bit of garlic powder in this as well. And I will save, I'm gonna also do some onion powder, but I'm gonna do that with the spinach. Okay, so, I don't exercise, I'm not good at it. Every time I've tried, I get to about 2 weeks in, and then I give up. It's not fun. And I also don't know what I'm doing, right? I didn't know what I was doing at all. So I started looking around, I started looking at gyms, and decided, like, a standard gym is not gonna work for me. Planet Fitness is not gonna work for me. They're great, don't get me wrong, it's not gonna work for me. Also, part of that is a mental thing. Planet Fitness is on the other side of town. It takes 15 to 20 minutes to get there from where we live and from where I work. If I have to travel that far to go work out and then also travel that far to get home, it's not gonna work. Like, because I'm not gonna go is the thing. Because I know how much time I have, right? I know my schedule. I know that I get off work at 1 p.m. during the school year. And during the school year, Caden gets out of school at 2:50, right? I know exactly how much time I have between when I get off work and when I have to be at his school to pick him up. And if I have to travel 15, 20 minutes to go work out, and then also another 15, 20 minutes to get me back to his school, that doesn't leave a lot of time for a workout, does it? And I know this. So I was looking around at options. I need my containers. Because as soon as this is partially done, I'm going to, I need this pan, so I'm going to move the cauliflower into a container and do the next step. But anyways. Welcome to my brain. This is 100% what I'm like a majority of the time. Oops. Okay. So we need 2 tablespoons of water, which is why I grabbed my little bowl of water. Because that's my trick. Is instead of trying to bring a hot pan over there and add 2 tablespoons or get 2 tablespoons and bring it over here, I just give myself a little cup of water, measure my tablespoon, and put it where it needs to go. Okay, just a little bit of water. Cover, reduce heat, and we're gonna let that now steam for about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. Drink break. So I started looking around. Then I looked into the YMCA. And I ultimately went with the YMCA because we have a lot of different locations here where we live. And more importantly, there's one like 2 minutes down the road from where I work. And there's one about 2 to 3 minutes down the road from where we live. So I don't really have an excuse because I can get off work, go right there, work out, come home. And on days like this where it's my day off or I'm at home for different reasons, it's right there, right? I can just skedaddle down the road. So that's what I did. I got a membership towards the end of January, and I wanted to wait to give people who are already established a chance to work around people who make their New Year's resolutions to start working out at gyms. It's very common, it happens, I totally understand because I've been that person before and I didn't want to be that person this year. So I really wanted to wait through the month of January to let the people who've started working out to get into their own rhythm, right? To find their method of working out and what times work best for them and all of that stuff. And I didn't want to jump in on that. So I gave it about a month. Towards the end of January, I then signed up and I started coming in to work out. And the good news is, because it is the YMCA, you can go to any of them. So that is really encouraging for me as well. So it doesn't matter that I signed up at the one near my work. I can also go to the one near my house. I can go to the one on the other side of the city. Like, it's great. So, woohoo! Cauliflower has been steamed. I think I'm gonna actually go and give it one more minute. I only did 2. It's still not all the way done in certain pieces, like the bigger pieces. They're still really hard, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it another minute. Use timers, ADHD friends, because time blindness is a real thing for me. I can't judge time. So, okay, I was reading the next step. Started working out. I try and go a couple times a week, and I have finally fell into a rhythm that works for me. Monday, Tuesdays, if I go, usually one or the other, sometimes both if I'm feeling really good. I know because I have to get back home to pick Caden up from school. I only have so much time, so I usually am able to do about a 40-minute cardio workout. Usually treadmill, elliptical, anything like that, just to do a good cardio workout. Get a good sweat going for cardio. Then the other days of the week when I have more time, I lift, and then once a week or once every other week, I try and also do a combo lift and cardio workout. So when I'm lifting, I'm doing whoops, I'm doing biceps, I'm doing triceps, I'm doing my legs, I'm doing my back. I'm trying to lift weight. And I would also recommend, wherever you go, ask for one of the trainers to show you how to use the equipment. There is no shame in that. There is nothing wrong with you for needing a guidance or assistance. Part of the why when I signed up was they give you 2 included training sessions with a trainer, with a personal trainer that's on staff. And that was awesome because I sat down with him. He went over my goals with me. His name was Alex. He's fantastic, super kind. And he listened, and he actually listened to what I wanted and didn't just make me feel, he didn't make me feel self-conscious. He didn't make me feel bad for not knowing how to do things, not knowing information about weights or weight machines or how to do those things. He listened to me, and that matters to me. So like I sat him down and was like, yeah, do I want to lose weight? Sure. But what I really want is to be healthy. I want to be strong. So yeah, I'll do cardio, I'll do the machines, but like, I'm not coming here just to run on a treadmill. I want to lift. I just don't know where to start. And he helped me out with that. He walked me through how to use machines. He showed me where free weights are. So like, you know, what you think of like actual dumbbells and stuff. And, you know, he walked me through all of that, told me how to, like, how many sets I should be doing, how many reps I should be doing, you know, what would be like a starting weight, like how to judge what weight I should be using. It was incredibly informative and incredibly helpful. And it was like session 1, we did arms, and he walked me through a bunch of arm stuff and like upper body, upper back. And then the next time we met, we went over like legs, lower body, and it was awesome. And that has been so incredibly helpful. And so I'm gonna add half the bag of spinach first. Let this get pretty wilted with some salt and pepper, and then I'm gonna add the second half of the bag. I dropped a piece, it's fine. All right, now salt and pepper these bad boys. So I started going to the gym. And I have been doing that regularly since like the last week of January, beginning of February. It is now almost June, so we're about 4 to 5 months in, and I'm really digging it. I'm really enjoying it more than I thought I would. This is also the longest I have ever been able to commit to working out on a regular basis. And that is definitely new for me. It is new, it is shocking, but I love it. It has become part of my, I had to stop looking at it as choosing to go work out and had to start scheduling it as part of my day, part of my routine. You know, I know on Mondays I go to the gym and I do cardio. On Wednesdays, if I don't go with Bryant and Caden to jujitsu, I go to the gym and I lift. On like Thursday, Fridays, because we're all home, after dinner, I'll go to the gym and I'll do my longer full body lifting and cardio, right? I don't work out on the weekends because I'm with Caden or friends. There's a cat hair in my spinach. But I go during the week, 2 to 3 times a week, and it's been a lot of good. Last week, Bryant and I went on like an hour-long walk together while Caden was at jujitsu. And it's things like that of trying to fit it into the routine. Instead of sitting for an hour while Caden is in jujitsu and sitting there on our phones or me reading, which don't get me wrong, I like to do that anyways. He and I dropped Caden off and then went, okay, we'll come back at the end of class. And we went for a walk for an hour because there's a park right across the street from his jujitsu. So we walked in the park for his class. It's making small changes like that consistently. On top of that, I have been intermittent fasting for almost a year. I believe I started in August of last year, I do a 16-8 intermittent fast, which means I fast or I don't eat for 16 hours, and then I have an eating window, or I try and eat all of my calories for the day in an 8-hour window. My 8-hour window of eating starts at 11:30 in the morning and ends at 7:30 at night. Why am I don't need more oil. Oops. And really, drink break. There's science behind it. You can look it up, you can read it, you can find out all of that information for yourself. I'm not here to go over the benefits or whatever of intermittent fasting. I'm saying for me, it is just part of the routine, right? It is part of my daily routine now, is that I know that starting at 11:30, I have breakfast, and then about 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, between that hour frame, I have lunch. I will have an afternoon snack around 4:30, and then I eat dinner, probably around 6:30, and then I'm good. Sometimes I have a little dessert, but I'm good. And it keeps me, because Bryant is really bad about it, and we all know that if your spouse does something, you're probably likely to do it too. My husband is a snacker. His whole family is a snacker, or snackers, okay? And what I mean by that, especially they are evening snackers. So we will have dinner, and then a little bit later, I also added garlic powder and onion powder to my spinach, along with salt and pepper. And we're just gonna let this all wilt. And what I mean by the evening snackers is 100% that. So dinner's done, right? And then we're sitting down, hanging out before bed, watching TV, Caden's in bed. So it'll be late, and my husband will start snacking. And his family are also like absent-minded snackers. And what I mean by that is typically if they're watching TV after a little bit, they will go find a snack. They have to have a snack while they're watching TV. It's a mindless thing. And it has become associated, right? Because this is what his parents do. That's what he does. I try not to encourage that with Caden because I don't want him to mindlessly eat. Which is why, like, we don't do snacks upstairs. Like, there's no food in the bedrooms. There's no food in the playroom, right? Like, I do implement that. Food stays downstairs. We don't take food into the bedrooms or upstairs into our, like, relaxation spaces. So that's really hard, which meant I was also doing that because he's doing it. And it can be anything from like a bowl of popcorn, like a bag of popcorn that he is popped, all the way to like a bowl of ramen that, you know, we buy at the store. You know what I mean? Packaged ramen. Like he'll do that. And you know what? It's fine. It's finally catching up to him. My husband has always been a tall, skinny, athletically built man. It is finally catching up to him. And he has even been like, I've put on a couple pounds. And it's like, yeah, choices we make have consequences. And so I've started doing that mainly to limit myself from eating when I'm not actually hungry. Plus it was messing with my sleep. There are a lot of informations about that, about not eating so many hours before bed because of the digestion, blah, 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 blah. Just waiting on the last couple pieces of this spinach to wilt. Should probably stop playing with it and get my paneer ready. So fasting. So I've also been fasting, but I really wasn't seeing any progress with it at first. And that was because, yes, I had a fasting window. Yes, I was limiting how much I was eating, or not limiting how much I was eating, limiting the time that I was eating, but I still wasn't making good food choices during my fasting window. So I really wasn't seeing any progress. Because food is the next part of this equation, right? For whatever reason, I'm sure my therapist could give me reasons. I cannot take care of myself when it comes to food. If I'm feeding my family, if I'm feeding kids, if I'm feeding friends, no problem. I can meal plan healthy, good recipes. I can cook. I can provide great healthy options. I can buy healthy snacks. I have fruit. You know, I've got a whole bag of apples back there. That's not a problem for other people. But when it comes to taking care of myself, I suck at it. I will consistently make poor food choices when left to my own devices. So I would be getting off work. I'm in my food eating window, right? Which is great. We are going to drain some of the water that has escaped from the spinach. A lot of water. 1 second. Boop. If I can. I only lost one little thing of spinach. Good for me. Okay. Put it into the meal prep container. Okay. Now we're going to cut up the paneer. I'll come closer. Hello. So, feeding myself, right? I get off work and then I go get fast food. Or I would stop at a gas station and just grab chips, snacks. Like, I wouldn't actually grab good food choices. And that's not good for anyone. I'm just cutting this paneer, into cubes. So I'm concentrating. And so I can be fasting all I want, but if I'm eating way too many calories in my eating window, my body isn't really processing what it needs to, right? Because I've put way too much food in myself. And I had to learn how to readjust that. Like I had said, I think I was also drinking a little too much. Not that I thought I was in danger of becoming an alcoholic, but I definitely was just drinking more than I needed to be drinking. And alcoholism, and I don't mind to share, this is vulnerable, but alcoholism does run in my family on both sides. And it is something that I am incredibly aware of. And it is not something that I want to go through. Drink break. But on top of that, it does things to your body, right? It makes you not feel well. It's calories that are empty. And also drinking sodas, a lot of soda. I was drinking probably one a day, if not more. Lots of coffee, lots of just not water, right? I will say, it is amazing how much your body will change just by cutting out beverages alone. When I started really focusing on drinking more water throughout my day, which means I had less time to drink other things, I really started to notice a change in how I felt and my energy levels. Yes, in my weight and my shape, just the way certain things would fit, less bloating. That's crazy to me, right? So trying to drink more water, less other things, working out, right? But I knew, I'm like, I can't do this on my own. And so I started looking into essentially meal planning services. My husband and I have done several. We've done HelloFresh. We did one that sent pre-made like lunches that you just had to heat up. We did that for a while. My husband currently has a Huel subscription. I do not. It is not for me. We're gonna add just a touch more oil. My pan is still very oily. Yes, I have used the same pan for everything because it's all one meal, and so I've let the flavors stay in the pan that I've already kind of created. What oil is there, the salt, the pepper, the seasonings that I've already put with all of the other vegetables, and I'm now gonna do the cheese in the same pan. I will wash the pan after this meal before I start the next meal, which I probably won't have time to do before I have to go get Caden, and that's okay. I'm a lot faster when I'm not chit-chatting. But I wanted to do this and talk about what I'm doing. So I also in January, end of January, beginning of February, started doing Hungry Root, which is where all of this is. Hungry Root. They are essentially a meal planning service plus grocery store, kind of wrapped up in one. And I've been using them for about the same amount of time now. I put my pannier in. Let this saute for a few minutes. So you sign up, you tell them what you're interested in, like how much food do you need? Is it for yourself, for a family, for a couple? And then also, do you want breakfast? Do you want lunch? Do you want dinners? Do you want snacks? Do you want desserts? Do you want fruits? Like, what are you wanting? And then you also put in dietary preferences, vegetarian, vegan, gluten-free, any sort of allergies you might have, all of that. And then they build you a shopping list based off of what you have shared. Sauté, my friend, sauté, my babies. I don't know why I'm French, but so I did single just for me. I said that I wanted breakfast for a few days a week, almost every day. I wanted a good breakfast. I needed lunch for every day. I needed a snack and an occasional dessert, right? I do have a sweet tooth and I know that that's not going away. And they cultivate this for you. They cultivate for me because I said I wanted lunch every single day. They send me 3 recipes that will make 2 servings each. So I have 6 lunch meals. Wednesday, this day, because I'm usually busy, is not a big, usually we have leftovers. We have something else I can eat on Wednesdays, right? For lunch. This timer's about to go off again. So I have my lunch meals that I take to work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is what matters to me. See, it's kind of loud. I don't think this is ready. I think they need another minute. I only did 2. I think they need 1 more minute. Okay. So I asked them to do all this for me. They create a meal list, and then they also send me a list of groceries, so everything I will need for those recipes, but then they send me the stuff for breakfast. They'll send me stuff for snacks, and they send me sweet stuff. The only things that I ever have to actually cook are my lunch recipes. All of my breakfast are like ready to eat items. All of the snacks are ready to eat items and stuff like that. I don't count like warming up in a microwave as having to cook versus like this where I prepare and cook. There we go. So look at my paneer. I love paneer. My delivery, you choose your delivery day. I choose to get mine delivered on Tuesdays. So I get it on Tuesday afternoons. I unload everything. I unpack everything on Tuesday. And then I meal prep Wednesday on my day off. Wednesday mornings. Turn off heat. Add sauce and all the items back into pan and mix. All right, paneer. Turn off. We're going to add our sauce, which is the yuzu miso glaze. I've just had this recently. It is delicious. So I picked, but what I also enjoy is it's completely customizable. So they create this list of recipes, right? You can always say, actually, I don't want that, and you can pick your own. And I did that for this particular dish. I just had a dish literally last week that featured this sauce, and it was delicious. And they, one of the meals they had picked for me this week was something I have already had before that I do really like. But I was like, I'm feeling that glaze, that yuzu miso glaze. So I subbed that out for this meal, which is something I have not tried, but I'm excited to try. It smells so good. I want to also say I am not sponsored at all. Not sponsored. I don't have any reason to promote this other than I use it and I genuinely like it. Take that as you will. We're going to add our vegetables back in as well. Put that there and give it a good mix so it's all coated in our glaze. And once it's all coated, I will then separate it into my two meal containers. So I started setting up for this. They send me, I have something to eat every single day that is healthier for me than stopping to buy fast food every single day, stopping at a gas station and grabbing things, stopping at a coffee shop and grabbing things. And it has worked so well for me. It has become part of my routine because that is what I need. If I don't have a routine, I flounder. Which is kind of what happened. I said at the beginning, I want to talk about like why I was gone. Part of it was I was so upset with myself because I didn't feel good, because I'm going to be very honest. I didn't like myself. I didn't like what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I didn't like what was happening inside of my brain. I am a huge proponent of mental health services, of therapy, of if you need medication, that is acceptable. I have done all of that, right? I've been diagnosed with several mental health conditions, and I have managed my symptoms and have gotten treatment through counseling, therapy, and medication. I am on a daily medication. I take 2 every single day to help with anxiety and symptoms of depression. I also deal with symptoms of PTSD. So having the mental health sides of things, I was struggling because I didn't like what I was seeing. So I needed to get my mental health under check, right? I was going to therapy. I kind of lost my balance because I am clumsy. I can fall over standing up. You just witnessed me about do that. I went to therapy. I got my mental health under control, and I now am incredibly grateful that I did that. And I feel no shame in sharing my story and going to counseling and therapy and doing a medication. And I will probably need medication for several more years, if not indefinitely. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with me for needing help. And that obviously takes a lot of time to be okay with admitting out loud. Once my mental health was under control, I was then able to start focusing on my physical health. So I started implementing all of these changes. But when I was going through all of this, the last thing I wanted to do was sit down in front of a camera and stare at myself and talk for half an hour to an hour, right? So the last thing I wanted to do, film and then sit there and then edit all of that and continually having to look at myself. I was not able to do that. I was not okay with doing that at all. So I took the time off and I don't regret it. Part of that though, part of me having to get into this new routine meant that it did throw off a lot of what I was used to. I have the ability, as I think most of us do, to be incredibly lazy. Sitting and being sedentary, the things I enjoy doing are not necessarily conducive to being active. Cross-stitching, reading, like I like to do puzzles, I like to color, like those things are not active. I don't think you see many people, running a marathon and doing a jigsaw puzzle at the same time, right? So the things that I enjoyed didn't allow me or didn't promote me to be active. And so I had to completely restructure my day-to-day. And for the first little while, I didn't know how to include my hobbies and this new fitness journey I was undertaking. I didn't know how to go work out and have a great workout and meal prep and also find time to sit down and read and cross stitch. And so I didn't. I really did not touch any of my projects. I hardly read anything the months of March and April. I had no, I don't want to say I didn't have motivation because it was there. I wanted to, but I didn't know how to fit it in. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Part of struggling with ADHD or certain things is change is hard. And when you start making changes, you don't know how to incorporate the rest of your life back in. And so that has also been a learning game for me, is how do I reincorporate these things that I love with these changes? Because of course I also went through that whole feeling of I felt guilty for wanting to sit down and relax. And I had no reason for feeling guilty at all. You're allowed to sit down after the end of a day. But I would tell myself I wasn't. So learning to manage my expectations, learning to manage my emotions, learning to manage my mental health, and that mean little voice in my head that was telling me I didn't deserve it, took a lot of time. And because I also didn't have stuff to show you, it compounded even more then you don't need to film. You don't need to sit down and make videos. It was a lot. But I then realized, and I think I said this in one of my first videos when I said I was back, the urge to film started to come back. As I started feeling more confident, as I started seeing and feeling these changes in my body, it didn't matter that I didn't have my usual quote unquote content to share. It didn't matter that I didn't have stitching. I just wanted to film. I just wanted to be a part of my YouTube community again. I love the little community that I have. Yeah, I don't have a lot of subscribers. I'm okay with that. But the ones who show up regularly, those of you who are here video after video, make it awesome for me. And I don't have enough words to say thank you. Sorry, I'm just adding the little sauce because it's tasty. And one meal down, 2 more to go, but I will have to wait till after I come home with Caden because I don't have time. I have time to finish this, edit this, and get this up. All said and done. Drink break. my confidence has soared. Am I still self-conscious? Yes. Have I spent a good portion of this video looking at myself in this camera and staring at this area right here? Yes. Have I been looking at my arms going, do they look fat? Absolutely. But did I stop? No. I kept filming because I wanted to, right? Also, fit check. I am so dumb, but I do actually love these. These are high-waisted shorts from Torrid. There's no zipper. It's all buttons, and they're like distressed, but they're high-waisted but like mid-thigh as well, so I don't feel like I got a little chub rub between my thighs. This t-shirt I've had since college, but I haven't worn it because it's been a little too small, which is exciting. It is from To Write Love on Our Arms, or TOLA, and it says, "We'll see you tomorrow." This was part of their anti-suicide campaign that they do every year, and I bought this back in college when I was a little bit tinier and a little bit fitter. But it fits again, and I decided I didn't like how it looked untucked, so I just tucked it into my little shorts, and I'm feeling it. Anyways, these are my muscles. That has also become a thing I keep doing, is I flex around my husband and I'm like, look at my muscles. And I'll be like, look at my muscles. I actually do have. Now you're just seeing me because I've lost all train of thought. Thank you, ADHD. Anyways, so it's been a journey. Essentially, I lost a lot of motivation for my hobbies and gained new motivation for health, and have slowly been able to reincorporate my hobbies and my health whilst making these good choices. And I feel like I now have a really good routine where I can do this. So I meal prep on my days off. I get all my lunches ready. And then when I'm done, between like the time when Bryant comes home and like Caden goes to jujitsu, I will sit down and I will read. I will do cross stitching. I will relax completely, and then I will get back up and then start doing some exercising or making dinner or whatever. It has been a slow process of reincorporating the things I want to do with these new things that I want to do. But I'm back. I'm really enjoying this kind of these vlog styles videos that I've been doing. I would really like some feedback. Let me know if this is something you would like to continue or no. I mean, just tell me, be honest. Because I don't know. Things have changed and I've changed and I'm okay with it right now. So, we'll see where this goes. But I will see you guys very, very soon. In the meantime, be easy with your hearts.